Needless to say, it's pretty easy to pack on the pounds this time of year, and apparently about 10% of Americans gain about 5 pounds or more just between Thanksgiving and New Year's alone. That's just over a month, and you can pack on at least 5 pounds. Well, here to help us not pack out the pounds is Lisa Lynn. She's the founder of LynFit, author of the Metabolism Solution. She's going to share her tips on how to avoid that holiday weight gain.
Good morning. It's Lisa Lynn. How are you?
Lisa Lynn, I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good.
This is US 99.5. We're here on Weekend Journal, right in the middle of all the holidays, and my goodness, there are so many cookies and pies and all kinds of leftovers, and Lisa Lynn is here. She's the founder of LynFit and the author of the Metabolism Solution. She's going to keep us on track here with our holiday weight. We don't want to gain anything, but apparently, 10% of Americans are going to gain 5 pounds just in between Thanksgiving and New Year's?
Personally, I think that's an understatement for what I'm seeing on the scales. I could do that in a day.
Oh, I could too. I'm right there with you. Don't worry. You know what? So what you're eating definitely makes a difference in how much you're eating, but also your metabolism is a big factor in this as well, and some of that is out of our control, but you can actually boost your metabolism. What are some things that we can do to increase our metabolism?
Oh, a lot more control with the metabolism than we think, especially if you're over 40. You have to take steps to either increase it or what you're doing is going to decrease it. And the one thing I have my clients doing now is I want them to get rid of all the bad fats, the steak, the butter, cheeses,
the yummy things.
The cookies and the pies you mentioned, those have bad saturated fats in, but surprisingly, one of the things that I do with my clients is have them really hone in on the good fats. For instance, Malaysian palm oil, with a non-hydrogenated oil. It's great for the brain, it's good for skin, and it's going to keep you feeling fuller longer. And so why is that critical? When you're making your vegetables, which is the other food you should be really focusing and eating as much as you can, if you make your vegetables with this Malaysian palm oil that's naturally trans fat free, you're going to feel fuller longer, so you're not going to eat those other foods. So where a lot of people say get rid of it, I say get rid of the butters, get rid of all the bad hydrogenated, but keep the good fat-burning fats in.
I want to ask you something about avocados. I have seen recipes popping up on my Facebook feed about how to make, brownies and all kinds of different desserts. And instead of butter, you can use avocado in there. Is that right?
Yeah, but that's a really high fat, and it's also not a good fat where, for instance, it doesn't contain the nutrients that Malaysian palm oil actually has really good nutrients that protect the skin from the inside out. So I recommend instead of that using Malaysian palm oil as a cooking oil because if you're going to fortify your hair, your skin, your nails, you're going to boost your metabolism. Believe it or not, avocado isn't really going to do that, and people really underestimate how many calories. Like, how many calories do you think are in a whole avocado?
A whole avocado, I'm going to guess maybe like 120.
Oh, no. More like 700 to 1,000. And so
no way.
It's a tablespoon of Malaysian palm oil every day.
Wait a minute. One avocado has like 700 calories?
Yep.
Wow.
A small one would be about 720, but they're small, medium, large, like eggs.
Yeah.
The thing is, nobody measures it, and so the only fat that I allow my clients to use would be the Malaysian palm oil. Not to mention it's good for the environment, but it's very easy to measure.
Wow, I just learned something huge, Lisa. You just changed my life.
And it's delicious, by the way. My kids, my trick to getting them to eat fish, Malaysian palm oil, because it's got this really bright orange. And one other study that was published today is that 1 out of every 3 obese Americans is deficient in vitamin E. And Malaysian palm oil is like the only oil that actually has an abundance of these tocotrienols that are really good for them. We actually need more and we get less.
I'm going to experiment with some of that, I think, when I'm cooking.
Love.
We're talking with Lisa Lynn today. She's the founder of LynFit and the author of the Metabolism Solution. She is keeping us in check during this holiday eating season. A biggie is alcohol. We talked last time you were on about how to kind of fake your mashed potatoes. You can use half potatoes, half cauliflower, or all cauliflower. Is there something you can do like that with eggnog?
Oh, by the way, you can do that with just about every food. And all you need to give me is Malaysian palm oil, garlic powder, and maybe a little bit of sea salt. And I can whip up pea puree. You can take vegetables. It's very in vogue right now to take your vegetables and mash them. And why is this important? Because it's got those 2 FNFs, the fat and the fiber from the vegetables. And when you combine those, the right fat, like MPOC, with the vegetables, you're going to be stuffed and full to the point that when you're out at these parties, you almost can't eat.
Yeah. You're going to see a laundry list of all kinds of stuff that you've been munching on.
Very good point, by the way. Interesting that I get these perfect food journals. One day I should frame them as a joke because if people ate what they actually put in the journals they hand me, they'd be like 90 pounds soaking wet. The stuff that really needs to be seen is the stuff that you never log, like the little nips and bites that we take. That's my big problem, too, home, eating, cooking. Little nips and bites, they add up to a lot more than we think.
Yeah, my mom just baked her famous M&M cookies, so I went over there, and I just could not stop myself. I was like, I'm just going to take two, and I ended up eating like 2 handfuls.
Two's the warm-up. You have to turn her on to my peanut butter balls in my book. They're just protein powder peanut butter. I don't put the oats that are in there. I do put a little Malaysian palm oil because it makes them creamier and a little softer. You just roll them up, throw them in the freezer. I did stick an M&M in the top of them because it's, holiday season. Yeah. And interesting, they disappear one by one. But the reason I like them is there's no processed carbs in them. Yes. I put a little bit of honey, but there's just enough good stuff in there that even my 16-year-old who's fussy eats them, but not so much that he's eating all the refined stuff that delivers no nutrients but really helps you overeat.
Well, those sound really, really yummy. It's US 99.5.